So are sanctuary cities protecting illegal immigrants from countries that are on terrorist watch lists? Yes. In fact, the sanctuary state of California leads the way in doing that. Join us to talk about it, Dale Wilcox, Immigration Reform Law Institute. I'll play the devil's advocate on this one, Dale. I'm sure the people in California would say, well, we haven't had any terrorist incidents, so what's the problem?
What's the problem? We're going to wait until we do have terrorist
Exactly.
National security experts have recently testified before Congress that there are Iranian sleeper cells in the United States just waiting for the word to go. So it is an issue. It's an issue we need to take seriously.
But how do you do it? I mean, you can't get it reported. You can't get Congress to take any kind of action. I mean, we've been at this impasse for years now.
Well, you're absolutely right. There are a couple of things that need to happen. One, we need that border wall because the southern border is just porous. In April, there were 109,000 people apprehended by Border Patrol. 109,000 people. Most of the cities in the United States have a population of less than 100,000, 98% of the cities. In March, there were 103,000 apprehended at the border. It's not a mystery here how some of these people from these terrorist states are getting into the United States. We've got to close that border until we get control of it. But you're absolutely right. Congress has the responsibility to throw money at this. We need more funding for ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who are the police officers in the interior who protect us from these people. Congress also needs to cut off funding for these sanctuary cities. If they're not going to cooperate, then they don't get federal funds. That's the only thing they're going to pay attention to. Cut off their money, and then they'll sit up and pay attention. Look what happened when Trump threatened to start sending all these people who are coming across the border to sanctuary cities. All of a sudden, they threw a fit. They were like, we don't want these people, because they would have to end up footing the bill while certain individuals are sitting around waiting for their asylum applications to be looked at.
Well, as you know, Dale, the president has already threatened to cut off funding. And, of course, those things always end up in court. And you have to deal in California, particularly with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which probably is going to turn it down. It's like a vicious cycle here in trying to get a remedy.
Well, it is, but we've actually had some success here recently. And believe it or not, in the Ninth Circuit, just in the last couple of weeks, my organization is principally a not-for-profit law firm, and we've been going around the country defending the president's policies in court, the only group to do so besides, DOJ, who represents the government, and we won a victory in the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit actually upheld the president's stay-in-Mexico policy, and what that is, when people sneak across the border and they're apprehended by Border Patrol, what they're being told by unscrupulous attorneys and not-for-profits is, claim credible fear. They're given magic words to say to the Border Patrol, I want to claim asylum. And, what happens is we catch them and we're forced to release them into the interior for them to await their asylum hearing, which takes years. There's like a 900,000 case backlog right now. So anyway, President Trump issued a policy that said, if you come across the border unlawfully, you must go back to Mexico from whence you came and wait for your hearing there. Well, of course, the not-for-profits groups lost their minds, the ACLU, STLC, and they brought these lawsuits to challenge that policy as unauthorized by our federal immigration law. And believe it or not, the Ninth Circuit upheld that policy recently.
Yeah, they did. Maybe there'll be more results like that. Let's hope so. Thanks for your time. Dale Wilcox, Immigration Reform Law Institute, here on News Radio 740 KTRH.